Hello and welcome. Today I want to talk about having the right people for the right tasks. I don't know about you, but I've heard lots of times, and I do talk about it, about if there are tasks in your business that someone else could do at a lower hourly rate, for less cost than the cost it takes you to do it, then you should be giving it to someone else. So for example, if you're in a consulting type business where you do charge an hourly rate, you know what your hourly rate is. And if you can find someone else who can do something at a lesser rate, often the bookkeeping, your admin, like your virtual assistants, they're at a much lower rate than, what you would charge for your time. And if you're in a business that isn't hourly rate based, if you look at how many hours you work a year, or how many hours your team work a year, and divide the revenue by that, and that'll just give you a bit of a gauge of what it's costing you potentially to be doing some of this stuff that someone else could do just as well as you can for a lesser rate. And that's one thing. But what I really want to talk about today is something slightly different. It's similar but different. And I've had two situations the last week where it's just really hit home to me. One was in relation to bookkeeping. And no, not me, because I like doing my bookkeeping. Yeah, I know. But that's because I love the numbers, definitely. But I also, for me, I like to have control over what's going on. I want to know what's happening in my business. Check the payments, check the money coming in, make sure people are paying, etc. So, it's a bit of a control thing for me, but it's also the fact that I love the numbers. So, for me, it's an easy one. But I was talking to a business owner about their bookkeeping. They've had their bookkeeping being done by their accounting firm for many, many, many years. And they've just recently got their new fee proposal for the next 12 months. Now, it's been increased, fair enough. Costs go up. Increase is probably a bit more than perhaps costs are going up, but okay, it's gone up. But the reality is, in this particular business, like every business, probably no different to every business, cost pressures. In order to make the most profit, we've got to make sure that we're not overspending on something that we could get the same job done for a lesser price. So, interestingly, the client has sought alternative pricing from other places. And the price is roughly a quarter of what the client's currently paying. Now, that's then the pros and cons around, the existing incumbents know the job, they've been doing it for a long time, there's a lot of history there, there's a lot of knowledge about it. There are some complexities. Every business has complexities, right? We all think we're more special than another in our bookkeeping and accounting, but in this particular case, it is not quite a straightforward one, but it's pretty straightforward. So, big question. In the client's hands, I actually can't tell you the answer as to whether or not. But, the comment I have had back initially was, well, that's a big difference. It's like, yes, it is. That's actually, in this case, thousands of dollars a year that could be saved by taking an alternative option that will be just as good. And even if they take longer in hours to do it, their hourly rate being so much lower means the client wins. And that's more profit in your bottom line. So whilst it's about making sure as a business owner, you're not doing work that could be done by somebody else at a lesser rate, it's also about looking at some of the other consulting work you're doing, and is that something that can be done by someone else at a lower rate and get done just as well. And that's the key, just as well. Is the job going to be just as good? Is the management of that going to be okay? There's a lot of time and effort that goes in when you're training someone, when you're getting someone new on board, and a lot of times people think that that's just too much to spend to it's too costly. But have a think about it. Have a look at where you may be spending money you don't need to be, and whether or not you couldn't be saving some money this year. Because every dollar saved is profit and money in your bank account. So make sure you've got the right people doing the right tasks.